The impact of place-based education, or PBE, on student engagement in first grade classrooms. Research on place-based education, PBE, shows its potential to enhance student engagement and improve academic outcomes in young learners. In my first grade classroom at Appalachian School, I used PBE to connect learning with our local surroundings, inspiring students to engage deeply with both our community and the natural environment. This method aims to foster a better understanding of content while developing critical thinking skills. My study focuses on assessing how PBE impacts student engagement and early literacy skills in my students. Using Ames Web assessments, I will measure key literacy skills such as letter recognition and phonemic awareness before, during, and after implementing PBE. By comparing these results with traditional teaching methods, I hope to evaluate PBE's effectiveness in my classroom. The ultimate goal is that PBE will lead to significant academic progress, particularly in literacy and engagement. I aim to demonstrate that PBE is a valuable educational approach that should be more widely adopted in early education settings. Appalachian School faces the challenges of varying levels of engagement among first grade students, potentially due to the lack of PBE in the traditional curriculum. PBE offers an innovative way to tackle this by integrating local culture and hands on experience into daily lessons. I hypothesize that my first grade students who engage in PBE will achieve better academic outcomes compared to those who follow a more conventional curriculum. The primary goal of this research is to observe how PBE influences both student engagement and academic achievement, with a focus on early literacy. The findings could lead to more effective instructional strategies at Appalachian School, encouraging the adaptation of PBE to improve student outcomes. The sampling method used in this study is purposive sampling, where participants were selected based on curriculum relevant to the research. This study will involve 37 first grade students from two classrooms at Appalachian School, reflecting the diversity of learning needs typical of our community. This makes the findings particularly relevant to similar educational environments. To evaluate the impact of PBE, I'll use Ames Web Assessment targeting essential early learning skills like letter naming and phonemic awareness. This tool will offer clear insight into student engagement and academic development before, during, and after PBE's introduction, showcasing its potential to strengthen literacy, foundations, and engagement in the classroom. Teachers will implement their assigned curriculum, whether it's the place-based education approach or the traditional method. Parents will provide informed consent, ensuring they are fully aware of the study's goals and procedures. The school administration will offer strategic support to facilitate the smooth execution of this study. The project began with pre-assessment data collection to set a baseline for early literacy skills. After applying the PBE over a course of 9 weeks, post-assessment data will be collected to evaluate changes in the academic performance. Midterm data will be collected at 4 weeks. We'll compare these results with traditional instruction to determine PBE's impact on my students' engagement and literacy development. To ensure the reliability of the results, consistency will be maintained across classrooms and teacher experience, allowing for a clear understanding of PBE's effects on my first grade students. Ethical considerations are crucial to this study. Student identities will be kept secret and data will be managed securely to maintain privacy. Informed consent will be sought from parents and guardians who will receive detailed information about the study's purpose and process. Approval from an institutional review board will guarantee that the research follows ethical guidelines. Transparency is a priority, and I will keep families well informed about what to expect and how the data will be used, honoring the trust they invest in this research. Initial data collected prior to PBE implementation shows that many of the students, both in the PBE and the control group, are performing below national benchmarks. This signals the need for an education approach that supports both cognitive and academic development in first grade. On this chart before you, the second triangle in group 1 shows the midterm data for this study. The second triangle in graph 2 shows the midterm data for the traditional group in this study. As you can see, the midterm data already shows a higher engagement and academic growth in the PBE group versus the traditional group. I anticipate that students who participate in PBE will demonstrate higher post-intervention scores compared to their peers in traditional classroom. The study will look beyond academic performance to examine broader cognitive improvements, providing evidence that PBE's effectiveness in early education. The introduction of PBE at Appalachian School has resulted in observable academic gains among students. Before PBE, 13 of the 19 students in the PBE group scored below national average in early literacy. After PBE intervention at midterm data collection, only 2 students remain below the national benchmark. This outcome highlights how PBE can significantly enhance student engagement and literacy skills. In reflection, I may modify PBE activities to further boost learning outcomes. Future research could explore PBE's effects on social emotional skills and longer-term academic success. Expanding this research to include larger groups and other grade levels will provide a broader perspective of PBE's impact. Implementing place-based education in my first grade classroom at Appalachian School has been successful so far, leading to significant engagement in academic process. My students have exhibited substantial improvements in literacy areas as compared to those in the traditional instruction classroom. Given the positive results we have seen this far, the next steps would be to recommend expanding PBE initiatives across grade levels and providing professional development for teachers to deepen their understanding of place-based education. This strategy will help maximize its benefits throughout the school, establishing a strong foundation for ongoing success.